stop. Go ahead and do our load check. Make sure our securement's good.
So one of the joys about running oversized is, you know, weather. And right now it's orange cone season, construction season, but we're coming into fall real soon. You know, I'm up here in South Dakota right now, and it's raining and there's fog. So you've got to read your permit and see what that state allows. Every state's different. Like Nebraska won't even let you run when it's raining. They will write you a ticket and put you out of service. I'd say with this, with the roads being wet, you know, visibility is just too low. We'll go back in and I'll kind of do a run oversized, you know, weather, just the things that you run into, kind of go over the things that I do, and some of the weather apps I use to kind of see visibility with fog, you know, the different layers and whatnot. Sometimes it pays to pay for a weather app, a good weather app, you know, because it helps you plan. You know, it may mean leaving, you know, a couple hours later, but you don't sit there someplace and waste your clock, kind of like what I'm doing. When I left North Dakota, it was fine, wasn't raining, it was clear. You get 100 miles down the road and I run into this stuff. It says it's supposed to be clearing up or not too much further down there. Visibility is getting better, but it's slow to the point. So, you know, best just to stop and play it safe. I mean, I couldn't see people coming up from behind me, which means they couldn't see me. If I can't see them, they can't see me. And, you know, if somebody rear ends you or something happens and you're running, you know, it's going to be blamed on you any way you look at it. So it's best just to get off the road. It's not a showstopper. We got plenty of time to get to where we're going. It is what it is. All right, let's talk to the app I use. It's Storm Radar. It's a Weather Channel app, but like I said, what it tells you what's going on here. So if we look at this and we push play, I have the high definition radar, so all the blue stuff and that's all rain. All the white stuff, that's cloud cover and fog. So it's basically what the satellite can see currently and what it looks like. So I'll go ahead and you can look on the legend right there and satellite visibility. Once it's low, so it shows it's white, so very low visibility. That means I have generally low visibility on here, but it is moving to the northeast. It is slowly starting to clear up, so we will should be able to get back on the road here shortly. The other thing that I talk about is know your permit. So here in North Dakota, we're going to look right here and we're going to see number 3. No travel when inclement weather prevails, if visibility is poor or highway is slippery. Slippery, you know, a lot of times you got to look up and see what they define slippery. Generally it's ice, snow on the road, heavy rains, things of that nature. Visibility's low. Most states it's a 1/4 mile, some it's an 1/8 mile. It just depends. You need to know what each state allows. When you're hauling over dimensional loads, ignorance is not an excuse. You know, I didn't know. Well, here's your ticket. You know, you have to learn the hard way. It's going to be an expensive lesson. So just pay attention to what you're doing. At the end of the day, take your time, and you'll be all right. Another reference book that I use is this. This is an awesome book. And granted, this one's from 2014, so some things
have changed, depending on the states. But for the most part, it gives you a good rough estimate prior to, like, if you're going to do trip planning or things of that nature, prior to actually getting the load. So you can kind of plan out everything, because we'll get our permits generally, you know, a few states in advance. Like, I already have all my permits for North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. Those are all states that I should be able to hit today, weather dependent. Then we have annual permits for Kansas and New Mexico, which the load that I have will cover me for both of those states. And then I'll have to get permitted for Arizona. But, you know, the good thing about this, so we'll just go to, since we're in North Dakota, we'll flip through, find North Dakota. North Dakota. So kind of look, that fly. Kind of look at what we got here. It just gives us, hey, travel time 30 minutes before sunrise, 30 minutes after sunset, 7 days a week for 16 feet and under. Provisions on permit, posted speed, so we can do the allowable speed. Oh, shoot. I'm not in North Dakota anymore. I'm South Dakota. I'm sorry. My bad. I guess you need to know what state you're traveling in. I showed you the North Dakota permit, so I think that's why I think. So same thing, 30 minutes before sunrise, 30 minutes after sunset. If you're wide, daylight, 10 foot and under, 724, interstate only. Weight 724, must have reflective signs for night. Signs can be lighted. Lights on all four corners of the load. Provisions on permit. Posted speed. So the speed limit here is 80 miles an hour. My truck won't go 80 miles an hour, but if it did, you could if you wanted to. And then you kind of look at here quick widths. Now these are all, and then, you know, the allowable weight for everything, you know, and on what they go up to. So, I mean, it just depends. And obviously this is 2014, we're in 2019, so it's been a couple of years. The book I had before was actually a 2012 book. You know, obviously it's good to have the updated one. So it just depends where you're at. For the most part, this is pretty accurate. I know states like Utah have made some changes here recently. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. But, you know, knowledge is power, and it'll keep you out of trouble. There's a couple of South Dakota Highway Patrol guys, you know, state troopers. You know, I think if I were to pull out of here right now, they would definitely go ahead and stop me and keep me from doing that. Which, you know, was clearing up, but now it's getting worse. So, who knows? You know, I'll sit here until it's safe to go. Later, things have cleared up enough to where we can get on the road, so we'll get on out of here. Let's hope we can make some more mileage before it gets worse or it stays cleared up. Let's see what happens.